We're quickly approaching the conclusion stages of Frozen Crown's Call of the North, now sitting together on track 9 out of 10, One for All. But in the previous 8 pieces, we've had at least in my opinion, wild ride, and I would imagine this one will also follow suit. That's been my presumption of Frozen Crown, and they've not let me down at all. Though again, I'm still relatively early in my days of fellowship with them. I know some of you are not, and I welcome anybody here if you happen to be a fan that advances me in time spent with this group of just a couple months, or in fact an initiate listener to where I was a few months ago, which like many other European credits compelled an introduction journey via 16 pieces initially, now adding on in total focus of at least the next video 22, I think. Yes. So in full, those are the only pieces, any pieces of humor from Frozen Crown I've done so with you. Because I've said many times, music is best enjoyed collaboratively, and when it concerns a European metal market, that certainly fits. Now, again, like I said, some of you may be approaching on first glance. I would recommend, if this is an early introduction for you via Frozen Crown and thus Call of the North, you humor the first 8 numbers. You shouldn't neglect those, and then come back to where we now sit with One for All. It'll make your experience even better. But if you want initiation, so again, we're all even, I'll let you enjoy it how you wish to, right? You can enjoy those even in post, and let One for All serve as your initiation encounter to perhaps your first ever Italian origin metal group of power metal stylization. One of my earliest into the Italian foray specifically, though again, I prize discovery and interaction of European metal here amongst many groups. It's been a deep ride, but one I've absolutely loved being a metalhead of many years. Frozen Crown, though, has really delighted me. I've loved the energy of their numbers, the key stylings, the particular project here has been my favorite out of the group. And those last couple albums of what I've listened to them so far I've liked. They've been quite engaging releases. I don't want to undercut them. But Call of the North really is something special. As somebody who definitely favors a more aggressive voice within metal, though I'm open to a general mixture of stylings, it's been so nice to have a rough root fleshed out on voice, and certain numbers like Black Heart, In a Moment, even Now or Never to a degree, the number we just humored, flesh that out quite well, especially Black Heart. I think it's my favorite of the release, but the last couple pieces we've humored have been quite exemplary too. I don't want to overshadow any of them. If you are approaching One and All, though, on first experience to Frozen Crown, I think you're going to have a fun time. I've said that to the credit of Frozen Crown on suspicion they've not let me down yet. I think it'll be the same with you. I don't want to speak for you because music is very much a subjective experience on consumption, but Call of the North has really been a good collection that I think is going to immediately form a connection with you. Let's humor One for All together and see which shade this takes as well. I mean, we've explored, even within Call of the North, there's been some light variance, though again, there's been a dominant rock voice. Some of the numbers that we've surveyed together tonight have departed a bit. Even the last one seemed a bit, by my count, somewhat repressed, controlled. It expressed some subtlety. Definitely departure. I'm curious to see which direction One for All goes, though. Because with the later section of this album, I'm kind of in a position of I don't necessarily know what to expect in terms of how frenetic it might get, or how soft, or whatever extreme it'll play to. And what new shades will form, right? There was some adaptation with those last couple pieces, including Until the End as well in that regard. Let's see where One for All goes. You and I, together, on first temptation of a number. Well, again, I'm sure considering Frozen Crown credit, it won't at all let me down. I think it'll be the same for you. That's the most subtle we've been. Talk about softer faces. Even beyond Victorious and Until the End. Not bad though. Interesting voice here to flesh out.
How great it used to be, how close now it seems. Fly me up to the clouds so that I can see what is.
This one's really showcasing the vocals. The softer numbers are doing that even more so than the harsher numbers are. It feels like an acoustic behind the scenes performance, doesn't it? Kind of playing around like that. I wondered where the switch would come in if there would be one. Steady rhythm on this one. I like where we're tracking here. Let's see if we make a return to the origin. I don't know. Not yet. The riffs are a nice contribution, though. Nope, okay. We're adapting. Good first taste. Whenever Giada hits a higher note, it makes for such a wonderful experience, doesn't it? I love listening to her sing. I've said that many times tonight, but it's true. Between pitch and the accent, it's just such a nice feel. And meshing with the acoustic origin on this one. Again, a tune of individuality. Familiarized instrumental break, not bad. Again, a good pause agent to what, again, we think is a pseudo pause number, and then there's that twist. Not a bad voice on this one. To strip this one down, though, I like the methodology of how we go about. These last couple numbers have just such ambition to them. Not bad. I really like this one. It's these last few steps of Frozen Crown are really charming me. I've said it for the last couple tracks, and I guess we're not departing. Now, will Far Away follow in pattern? I don't know. But at least until the end to now One for All, there's been a bit of a fresh face appearing here. And this is a testament as well that we can apply to other preceding works like Black Heart and Fire in the Sky as well, that there's differentiation on what I'm experienced to of Frozen Crown. This one really, like, even with the common origin to Victorious or Until the End, we think it's going to be a soft, or like the softest yet, but like it's a stripped down behind the scenes, you know, like acoustic performance. Just watching the band live. You've seen those types of music videos, right? Just in studio. It feels like that type of experience. Even just, again, when you're just listening to it, it carries on that effect. And you're waiting, if you know Victorious, for that eventual twist. And admittedly, right before that twist came up, just in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to humor the idea that this is going to be like a ballad acoustic performance in entirety. And I started believing it right until that riff kicks. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go again. It's common. Again, this was, I think, it feels the most prolonged in effect. Not bad, though. Whether it be showcasing the guitar work or Giada's vocals. They really take center stage with these softer pieces. Like, again, the instrumental scores are fantastic. especially, I'll get to the other sides of this tune, as I think it's after the second chorus, like I really see it with that bridge. But I'm really seeing, as I said in the previous couple of songs, an adaptability with these last two pieces, a bit of an exercise of freedom that carries with it new reaches of Frozen Crown expansion. Just even subtle, common adaptations as well. For example, the symphonic vocals, background, limited, and suppressed, but interesting, because it's not necessarily an element that every power metal band might play with. Some, yes, and there might be some, even just from time to time where it's not necessarily directly stated, some metal subgenre inclusion and hybrid structures. To carry that in, that, to my knowledge, that's not something that Frozen Crown, at least what I've experienced, I don't think I've heard that come up before. It's been more so of, again, a power metal fantasy vein. But the differentiation here with Call of the North, I have to admit, it gives this album a bit more atmosphere, I think. It feels like a bit of a wider project. We start with the isolated riffs, then have the onboard percussion, then have the symphonic. That is such a different tailoring of Frozen Crown songs from what I've explored now that I'm just not used to. But I like it. It's, again, like I said, this is what it is to me. It's like, again, think of our startup. It simulates in production number, like a rehearsal. And that effect is maintained, but once that riff advances, you take that opening, and instead of prolonging it like I did, at least just on suspicion that that's where we could go for the entirety of the number's duration, you instead limit it to just a creative opener that serves as the origin to the piece. You don't take that section and translate it as the number evolves. You're not led to, because as the number plays out, your attention and your review of it is a bit tailored. 2, you hit that bridge section, and the stripped part immediately revives that effect. I like how this piece is told in like a bit of an episodic, chapter-like framework. It takes different appearances, and again, I know we're just listening to the song absent of a visual presentation, but it mimics what you would see to different extremes presented. Wherever you imagine it, like the behind-the-scenes performance. That's what you get on introduction. But then it comes across like a traditional Frozen Crown number with the familiarized, in some location, band music video. It's a number of a lot of definition, but again, a deliberancy that I find quite creative. And one for all, though you could make an argument, again, for any other types of facades. Call of the North might demonstrate from time to time, again, like I said, an independent stylization on certain numbers. One and All feels greatly departed. Even if, again, like I said, there's a balance between traditionalized and familiar Frozen Crown voice. And somewhat of a new design. I still find the origin quite shocking, and then that bridge section comes up. Wildly differentiated to what I'm familiarized to now with Frozen Crown. I have not seen that effect take shape for really any of the considerations they've given their work yet. I just find that one so startling. I'd love to hear your opinion on it down below, as well as your vantage point if you wish to declare it. Longtime fan or initiate encounter, what do you think of One for All? I like it. Again, familiarized route to Frozen Crown, and yet somewhat of a differentiated voice. That's been the common remark I've given the last section of Call of the North, but it's quite interesting. I wonder if Far Away will follow suit so deliberately. We'll have to see, but I'm still quite surprised by that number. Not in a bad way. I find One for All quite fascinating. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.